Ebola is like hands down the worst one you could ever get. Dude, it takes your intestines and it makes them decay as you're alive. You go into like a passive state where you don't even really feel pain anymore. Whoa. First guy who got Zaire Ebola, he walked into a cave and he worked in Africa, and then he got fed on by like a bunch of like bats and stuff. And he didn't know what was going on. He's like, I'm just getting sicker. He's like, oh, I might have malaria. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to go to the hospital. And he goes on an airplane and he starts puking and vomiting. Oh my God. And his eyes apparently are all like completely red, and his skin's turning yellow. And then by the time he gets to the hospital, he just pukes out his whole intestines and he out his whole whatever.
That must feel good. Oh my God, that's a good. You don't even have a good. You're like, oh, I feel so much skinny now. Oh man, you your intestine. You're like, oh my, I have a 6-pack. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an up close and personal edition of the Good Night podcast. Before I start, I just want to say, Kingston, you've been amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Great.
Oh my God. We sold out the show, guys. Every show. We had one show, but it was sold out.
Yeah, we see.
Dennis, Ashley, the hot white girls. Do you remember any names? The guy who looks like me, Ahmed.
Yeah.
The black guy.
Oh,
my black. No, not all black guys are called Amer. Because
I think his name was Amer.
No, his name is Ahmed.
Ahmed? He's lying on his Instagram.
No, on Instagram, I think he's Alfred. Oh, I did such a fat move. I wanted to go get my cup, but I'm like, I had to propulse myself to bend my tummy.
Oh man,
come to Egypt, Gabe.
Yeah, come to Egypt.
Come to Egypt, guys. I'm trying to convince Gabe.
I like the idea of Egypt. I think it's really, really cool. I saw there was like an incident that occurred. Like incidents should happen once every 9/11. You know, they shouldn't happen every other week.
Yeah, but you have to remember, you're not. Incidents happen in Europe. You like how we're being so polite because it's the first 5 minutes. We're calling them incidents.
I know, right? I don't
incidents. Incidents. In the name of someone.
Yeah. They're incidents.
We don't like other people, so we're gonna go type incident in Egypt.
Yeah.
And Gabe does not want to go, but I'm trying to convince him.
I do want to go.
Let's just buy the tickets now.
I can't buy
this. Let's go.
I can't buy the tickets right now. I need like a day or two to think about it. Be like, holy.
That's not
moly.
Dude, remember I went to the I word. Another word I can't say in the first 5 minutes.
Oh.
The country I visited last summer.
Yeah.
I decided like 24 hours before. I bought the ticket and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Maybe let's do that 24 hours before.
The ticket price might be high.
I know.
If you want, we could take that gamble and just say, F this, let's just party.
No. I'm gonna go. I want to go. Just give me a little bit. Give me like a couple of days, and then I'm gonna buy and go.
Just so you know, I want you to go. I think it would be cool for the podcast. Personally, I like being alone. So you're not bringing me pleasure.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool to go with the podcast, and that would be nice. Whether I go with you or not, I'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I got
I'll just take longer. Oh, I shouldn't censor that word.
Yeah.
Gabriel, censor that word.
I usually censor those. I usually censor all of them.
I'm just. This is we're very up close. I feel like a president. You know Obama? There's this famous photo of Obama where he's when someone is burping right next to him.
Wait, this famous. Wait, the one that says, what's it called? Betrayed or whatever?
Listen, I know you don't like it when I react to your burps. I know you're like, you get offended at me when you burp 20 centimeters from my face.
Because it just reminds me of my mom. And I'm like, all right, just deal with it, Mom.
Ooh, I'm so hot. Ooh, yes. Oh, my God. I have a funny story about your mom. You want to hear it?
Okay.
It's not doesn't involve your mom. It's including your mom. So I don't want names to be said. Okay, so keep that in mind. So remember we did a few shows together, and there was a girl, and I told you, my God, that girl has the most beautiful body ever. And you told me, she's shaped like my grandma. She looks like a grandma.
She looked like
and for a second, I'm like, why is he saying? And then I remember, your mom is gorgeous. Like she has a whole. I'm like, probably his grandma is also like extremely hot. And that's why you date Claire, because you're like, Coke bottle shape? No, I want tall British. Hello.
You've been saying Coke bottle, which is, I think, the wrong. No. What Coke bottles look like this? You're thinking hourglass.
Yeah, but that's a Coke bottle shape. That's the same thing.
I've never seen a Coke bottle have two.
You never got a hard-on staring at a Coke bottle?
I've never seen every Coke bottle I've seen. You get a 2-liter one.
Not a 2-liter one. I'm not dating
I
two
go
little.
to Dollarama. I look at the Coca-Colas. They're like it's like a rocket
It's
ship.
these ones, the one that are like, ooh.
Oh, like the ridges.
No, it's not the ridges. It's not a. But Coke bottle. Oh, come on.
I don't think it's Coke
Because
bottle. It's hourglass figure.
Out is the same thing. They come from the same thing. Maybe because I listen to 90s hip hop and that expression used to be said like, oh,
that
like
means
a Coke
the
bottle,
middle of the Coke
scissor,
bottle is
N-word.
like this.
Sorry?
Like
It's the idea. The idea. We have to go to Egypt, bro. Light up our vernacular. We have to go to Egypt. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why.
the Sphinx.
The Sphinx, exactly. And I'm like, oh, that's what's true. His grandma must be also
Nah,
shaped like a Hottie McHottie.
She's like no. She's on the side of the
you,
family.
you went
that's
like,
kinda gross.
she looks like a grandma. I'm like, her body is perfect.
You
You're
think?
like,
That person was like 5'2"
gorgeous.
and like
oh my god, that
shaped
body
like a bowling ball.
No, you're so no. Okay, I'll describe it to you guys. Okay, beautiful head of hair, beautiful cute face, huge boobies, huge waist that just wow, and then bam, big booty, short, a little bit of chub.
That's not
meat
what I
at the right place. And what he sees is like, sweetie, do you want some cookies?
No, I see like.
I'm telling you, it makes sense that you ended up with Claire. It makes total sense.
Maybe.
You're
I
like
don't
tall
know.
British girls who are completely not your grandma or mom.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, my mom
Claire looks like his dad, which is weird.
also tall.
Really?
That's all.
Your dad's called Dan?
Yeah, 6'3", 6'4".
He's a British dad. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tall dad. How come you're shorter than your
My
dad?
mom is like 5'1".
Oh, you think it's like the math? God just made an average?
Well, you're the mix, right?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know if it's an average. I think it's one gene is stronger than the other, I guess. And
I guess it's a mix.
But you're tall. You're not a short boy.
No, I'm 6'1".
Especially now you're running. You have good posture. You look great. You're becoming more of a stage, I got to say. I noticed that.
Well, it's especially like audiences from Europe and stuff. It's like they're like, we don't speak English.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like, hey, look at my touch me, touch my ass,
you know?
grab my. Ooh, I'm gonna suck your Tesla boy. No, but that's new. That you didn't do this when you were chubbier. Now you're like, ooh, you're like a.
Because I'm flexible.
You're a funny stripper now.
That is funny. No, that's funny.
That's your new thing. I'm a funny stripper. Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
Oh, also, thanks for everyone who came to our 100 show.
Yeah, it was great.
Gabe, we did a 100 show, buddy.
Yeah. Clink.
100 show, guys, at the Sunday show, Sunday Good Night Comedy show. It's 100.
And it's 100 shows. 100. It's
100.
so many shows. It's
wow.
It's like all the winter, the spring, the fall, the summer. Then then we're back into winter and fall, and then summer.
Yeah, that's a one way to say it. Yeah.
That's it. It's the seasons. It's
so many seasons.
I know.
Never canceled a single show.
We never did.
Never did. We did shows in front of 4 people and they were hilarious, and we did shows in front of 100 people and they were hilarious.
Yeah.
So, baby,
rain or shine.
If you're not coming, it's our like it's like our volunteering. What's the word?
It's like a soup kitchen.
It's like exactly. It's the soup kitchen of comedy, guys. It's pay what you can.
I'm
thinking of changing. Should I change it? guys?
Well, we changed it like back and forth, like 3-4 times.
Yeah, because now it's summer. Maybe we should put it
sure.
back to bucks or whatever.
Yeah. Because then
keep it pay what you can. I like the idea of pay. Let us know, guys, in the comments. Should I keep it pay what you can, and then I'll do exactly the reverse of what you guys say. This is intimate and close.
Yeah, very close. Ooh. So, anything new? I have to burp. I need to burp somewhere.
Burp elsewhere.
Oh, my God. It's Coca-Cola. Don't smell it. That was loud, too. Don't smell it. Go away. Oh, it stinks.
So I had a fun week.
I had a sausage with garlic, and I'm pretty sure. I didn't even know it had garlic in it until I read it.
As I said, burping is part of human. I don't mind it. It's when you go like... So Amer, and then you get I swear he looks like you, man. Come on, bro. Like he gets snappy because I told him, bro, don't burp around my face.
I burped down the ground, but this time I burped. It's further. It's gone now.
So you burping that camera is gonna melt.
I know your plants are dying.
I have one plant. Did you ever see my plant? It's a money tree.
Oh.
But it's a tree, and it has like 3 trees, and they're all intertwined.
Ooh.
But 2 of them died, and only 1 is alive.
Oh, okay. Why is it called money tree?
I don't know.
It just
my sister got it for me. She's like, you need any superstitious luck.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
What's new? Oh, I went on a date.
Wow.
It's fun. She's
Are you looking for love?
Always. You can't not be looking for love.
Yeah.
Be nice. It would be nice to have love.
Yeah.
Or
companionship. Well, I'm trying to say the 5-minute mark.
Oh, we're still.
I think
we're still not in the.
I think we're like 6 minutes.
Oh man! All right. Your mom. Gabe's mom. All right.
Companionship.
No, we met. She was very. I learned a lesson. Okay, here's a lesson for all you young comics who listen to this. Don't go on stage, have a fantastic 25-minute set, and go on a date, because I learned this. The brain that provides comedy on stage is not the right brain for dates, because when you're on stage, you're like, oh my god, I gotta laugh every 6 seconds. So you're like, you're fully just looking for the tiniest small weird thing, so you can attack it and pop and get a laugh.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what happened. I went on stage. I headlined the Third Floor Comedy Club. Check it out, guys. thirdfloorcomedyclub.com. Fantastic club. Jump in my car. I literally get off stage. Thanks, you guys. Jump in my car. Go meet up with this new lady. Never met her. We spoke on the phone. I sit down. I'm like, you're
excited.
No, not excited. Just you're fully.
Rant.
When you get off stage, you just been just M-wording just for freaking just pa. And we're talking. And I'm like, she's like, she's talking. She's beautiful, prudy little.
Looks like my grandma.
Looks like his grandma. Gorgeous. Oh my god. So I'm listening to her, but I'm like always. Anytime she says something, I go for the laugh. And she's like, I'm like, she's like, I did some volunteering. I'm like, oh cool. Well, where? She's like, I did some volunteering in Cuba, and it was really. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, sorry, what did you say? She's like, I did some volunteering in Cuba. I'm like, sorry, say that again. Yeah, Cuba. Cuba. I'm like, oh, you mean Cuba? She's like, yeah, Cuba. I'm like, get the out of here. I'm like, and I just starting just ripping. I'm like, who the says Cuba? Just say Cuba. It's 4 letters. Cuba. She's like, but they call it.
So
Cuba.
Is she white?
She's white.
Okay, that's out of control.
She's white.
That's out of control. You can't say Cuba. Did you open up like a Facebook profile of Hattie Cuba and say, read this? Hattie Cuba.
Cuba.
Damn.
So we're getting married next week. It's gonna be fun.
Who lets people volunteer? Whoa, it's so close.
Cuba. I did some volunteering in Cuba.
What type of volunteering was it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh.
I could, dude. That's the thing is that when she said Cuba.
Oh, so she shut down? She was like, I didn't.
No, she didn't shut down. But here's the thing. I got a big laugh, but there was no emotional.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope she doesn't hear this. We're supposed to see each other again.
Oh, she's not gonna hear it.
I asked her. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I'm gonna talk about on the podcast.
It's funny.
And she's like, who's this?
Volunteering in Cuba is really interesting.
Cuba.
Because you'd have to go through the government, right? Because everything's regulated.
Yeah.
It's kind of spooky.
Do you think they do the test at the sorry, okay, where will you be volunteering? Cuba? No. Cuba.
We should go to Cuba.
So I told that to Abby, and Abby was like, I think we just found out why you're single. You're a bit too judgmental. I'm like, that's the thing when you're on stage, you just
you just say whatever.
You're like, you're like a shark looking for blood. You're like, I smell blood. Let's go.
Yeah.
When you're on a ditch, you're like, oh. Wow.
Yeah, you gotta switch.
Tell me more.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta switch it off. You gotta be totally in P word mode.
What's P word? Oh yes.
You gotta be you gotta have the brain.
Yeah.
And then there's comedy brain, and then there's I'm alone psychopath brain.
It's I'm learning that I can only literally just be fully my full self only on stage. Because off stage I have to take care of other people's. Everybody is annoying. I have to take care of their feelings. I have to pay attention to their feelings. When you're on stage, I'm just like, this is my brain. It's made
100% what you wanted. What you want to say.
Exactly. And it usually gets a laugh, but it's okay. Yeah. I wonder if microphones didn't exist.
Yeah, you'd have those things. And you have a little in the circus. Hi everybody!
Cuba.
You'd be that guy yelling Cuba.
Cuba.
Cuba sounds like an insult, an insult for Cubans.
Yeah. Cuba.
Cuba's amazing, man.
You been to Cuba?
I went last year, but I went to the resort and I smoked
you didn't go to Cuba.
I went to like they're like, let's go to the town, and then you take like it's basically Spanish North Korea. You know, it's not a real city. You get on a bus that's only just other white people. You're like, okay, and then they drop you off at this town, and it's like Disney World but for Cuba, and you're walking, and you're like this. It's called Varadero, and it's like,
you know what you experienced that you loved.
Mm-hmm.
You experience the pleasures of owning slaves.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm seeing so many videos online right now of people going like, oh, I used to live in Canada and now I decided to go live in the Philippines or in like United Arabs and life is great. Look how clean the streets are. I don't pay taxes. Everything costs a penny. You're like, yeah, because the guy cleaning the streets is a slave. He makes like 12 cents an hour. We take away his passport. Of course, if you have slaves, life is great. Of course.
Dude, so funny. Long time
Slavery is awesome if you're not a slave. If you're not a slave, slavery is awesome.
Unless you pay them, whatever. Nobody pays anybody anyone.
In Montreal, look, the people who pick up the garbage, they're paid like $50-$60 an hour.
Really?
Yeah. George St. Pierre used to be a garbage man.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Yeah, he used to punch bags.
Cut his hand. Oh, razor blade. A long time ago, when I used to make, you remember like my food videos I used to do? I used to have people watching. There was one dude that was like borderline stalkerish, but he's a Canadian that lived in the Philippines. And he made a video just about me on his YouTube channel with like and it's him talking to a camera in like it's like a living room / kitchen / bedroom, and the lights are all just like fluorescent. It's almost like green blue lights.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, this guy Gabriel, I love. He eats really good food. He's so funny. And in the background, all you see is like a Filipino woman picking up like clothes and like mopping the floor and like trying to get this fan to work. It's like, and I'm like, what is? Because all you see in the background, you're like, is that his kid? What is that? What's going on? And
tiny Asian lady or a child,
or a child. And I just like kind of blocked him because I was like, that's kind of spooky.
So funny, dude. Speaking of Cuba, so we have a fan. I'm not gonna say her name, and I was talking to her. First of all, you know when a girl tells you about her sexual adventures, you know so well, like, oh, she does not see me as a potential sexual partner at all.
Oh, that's
so. Anyways, she was just like, I went to Cuba. So I went to Cuba, and she's like, and there was like, you know, those dancers that performed the shows, and they were like talking to me, and I asked them like, hey, do you know where's the disco? So, and she's like, okay, I'll go disco. So, and apparently they went to like a handicap stall, and two guys just.
Whoa!
And she's like, while they were, they kept trying to take, like she was into it, like she wanted that. No, they went trying to take her like through her bag. She's like, no.
How the hell?
Because they were like,
how do you have that dexterity to like your and your fingers?
Dude, that's their dancers.
But it's true.
They're you know, like how you could do this.
Yeah.
They could do this and take money from a white girl.
Because I need like all hands on deck. I need like to hold it down, but I can't like be like, what's that?
Dude, he's doing this and he's doing the merengue at the same time. He's like, oh la calaco para capa carecapa, and then he's trying to steal money. And at the end, she just gave them $12 each. I'm like, oh, you were. She's like, yeah, I think I was a sexual tourist.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so funny.
I'm like, did you use condoms? She's like, nope.
Oh, dude, it's scary. These countries are actually terrifying.
She gave them $12 Canadian. I'm like, you know what that means? That means they you. Yeah. And then they're like, all right, $12 Canadian. Then they went to the bank and they're like, it's only $8 US.
I wonder what the exchange rate is.
We prostituted ourselves for $8 US.
Yeah.
We can buy toothpaste finally.
It's funny, yeah. It's like no matter how much money they have, you can't really even buy anything because there's nothing to buy.
Like, all right, we can pay rent.
When I was 16 years old, I went to the Dominican Republic with like my my mom, my brother, and my mom's friend and her son. And so I was hanging out with her son. He was about my age. I didn't really know him. We went to the same high school, but we were like.
You went to Cuba?
It was Dominican. Dominican. It was Punta Cana maybe. And we were totally different like friendship groups in high school. Like he was like those, you know, like the dumbass Italians, and then there's like the goths and the freaks and the geeks. I was whatever. And he was in the dumbass Italian group, and he was the whole time he was so horny, and we were 16, and I'm like,
Nice,
I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't do anything. I know where you're horny, and the whole time he was just trying to get laid the whole time.
Yeah.
And but we're like kids. I'm like, I had to explain to him, like, we're children. We're not gonna get laid. Like, just get over it. And he would force me to drink like 6 shots of tequila in a row, and
Wow.
So at one point we were talking to the bartender, and she was like this kind of young. I don't know how old she was. She could have been 12 or 40. I don't know. I have no idea. It was so long. And anyone seemed old to me, because you're a kid.
Yeah.
And the guy I was with started talking to her, and he spoke Italian, which is kind of similar to Spanish.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh, do you have a friend? We all both can hang out." And I didn't understand it because you're speaking Spanish. I'm just like, "Yeah, the baseball game's great." I had no idea what's going on. And then her friend comes, and we're hanging out, and I'm like, "This no, they don't speak English." I'm just sitting there, and then
Cute?
yeah, I guess so. But it was like, I was terrified because I was like,
girls. You're 16, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also I was terrified because I was like in another country, in like, and so they're like, "Oh, come to our house or down like the road, come to our neighborhood." And I'm so naive. I'm like, "Oh, cool, yeah." It's like they live in the resort or something. They must have a nice room or a nice pool area. And we're walking, and it's 1940s. Like all of a sudden, there's like cars that are like classic cars, but they're all like up, and like there's like Coke machines from 1920, and
nice.
everyone's like holding pool cues, and everyone's just all scary.
See, with a little
Exactly. But they're all like ripped, scary, like.
They're just skinny.
Huh?
They're skinny.
I know it's true. But they're big and scary. I don't know. And we're walking, and I like. I was like, I gotta get out of here because we were walking for like half an hour into this town. I was like, we're gonna get. So I just skedaddled. I dragged them, like, you gotta come. This is insane. And they gave him their phone number, which I'm like, how do you call someone in the like? There's no phones. It's like Dominican Republic. Like,
They're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying.
They're trying to.
Yeah. I saw a documentary, like a short documentary. It's about white women from Europe who go to Cuba or Dominican Republic, and then you have all these hot guys, and they just like fall in love with them, and they treat them so nice, and they're like, let's get married, because they're all doing this to get the citizenship, to leave the country, and it's not sexual tourism, it's sexual, of course, but it's also like romantic tourism.
Yeah.
Because all these like just average looking white women, they go to these countries, and the guy like, hello, my name is Alberto, and you are so beautiful. I love getting lost in your eyes.
They get like that fix of just like desire,
Just so like the guy who's ripped, as you said, beautiful black skin.
Yeah.
She's a lawyer back in France, but over there she's like a hot mamacita. She pays, like they're showing her, she pays for everything.
Wow.
Sometimes the guy doesn't even speak English.
Whoa.
So basically all he's doing is like, ooh, mi amor, and just pounding.
Mi amore.
Just pounding her with his 18-year-old.
Oh. Whoa.
Pounding her with 18-year-old. And she's like, and then she's like, I love him. He's the man of my dreams.
And that's like 98 Fiance. Basically, make him come over to.
They show you them going to like the Canadian, let's say French consulate or whatever, and there's a lineup, and it's all white women with hot young Dominican Republican boys.
Ooh, what?
And they're like, I love him. I want to bring him back home.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And then you see like the girl has to leave, so she leaves, and the guy's just walking down the beach, and then he sees another girl, and then he starts all over again.
Whoa!
Isn't that crazy?
Just trying to get some cash.
Leave the country. That's
Okay. Yeah.
They have their romantic, sexual romantic tourism, because
that's all you got.
Boys who go to Philippines or whatever and they bang hookers, they're not looking for romance. They're just looking to bang 6-7 women a night.
Yeah. Oh man.
They never.
That's wild.
It doesn't happen. It's not easy to do this. You're not Drake. You're not gonna 6 women back to back. But over there, you are Drake. Everyone's Drake.
It's kind of
I'm
like
Drake.
that.
You're Drake.
Yeah.
You're Drake. If you have $25 in your pocket, you're Drake.
It's kind of like that movie. What was that movie with the rich people and the poor people, and there's dancing?
The Matrix.
I guess it's
in the
like
cave?
That. No. The one that James Mancini always makes reference to. Don't put baby in a corner.
Dirty
Dancing.
Yeah.
It's kind of because it's all the rich people like that are the young women. They try to, and they're learning like for the first time. They're learning about like life through dance because all the older dudes are teaching them like how to move their body for the first time, and they're always just stuck with their old doctor dad. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I don't think I've seen that movie. I haven't seen the movie.
It's good. It's really emotional. It's on Netflix, I think.
I started watching again Breaking Bad.
Nice.
I stopped watching the soap opera.
That's terrible.
I didn't watch it for one. I wasn't paying attention, and I'm completely lost in the story.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I have my new bit. I've been working on it and polishing it. But other than that, I'm done with that show. So I'm watching Breaking Bad, first of all, great show.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Second of all, Walter White is a psycho.
Yeah, he's the worst guy ever.
He's not a good guy.
He's the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, he's the one that's being victimized. Yeah. He's just a prick the whole show.
He's an incel.
Yeah.
He's an incel who's like repressed. Yeah. And in the first like 3-4 shows, he unalives someone. He kills someone.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna.
Also, he put himself in that situation he was in. If you go further in the show, have you seen it before?
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen it before, so I'm watching it. That show, I swear, every time I don't know why I'm watching it because it just puts me in a bad.
It's a really depressing show.
It's a super depressing show. You want to empathize with the guy, but also you hate him
because he's not really charismatic.
He girlfriend of Jesse.
Oh, that was bad.
Remember?
Yeah,
and then her father crashes the plane.
Oh my god!
What a twist!
That's double spoiler, folks.
Yeah, double spoiler. If you haven't seen it,
it's true.
I like Gustavo. He's my favorite. I feel like Gustavo.
But that actor that plays Gustavo, he's an amazing actor. But I think I've only ever liked him in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I never seen him anywhere else.
Really? He's in like Marvel and crap, and
really?
he's playing the villain. Every time there's a villain, he's like, can I do the villain? He's even been villains. Like they even put him in a video game here in Montreal. They make video games. They make him. He's a villain. He's such a good villain.
Even his voice changed.
Yeah.
And I feel as comedians we have to follow Gustavo. Off stage, he's a professional. Hi, welcome. Clean. And then his secret, he makes mess. As a comedian, you have to be Gustavo. Because you can't be Gustavo, like Gus and Gustavo. Gus, he's like the hi, I'm clean. Off stage in your life, you have to be Gus. Like, hi.
Depends though, because there's also comedians that like say Bobby Lee. He's Gustavo no matter what. He's Gustavo.
But here I think he surrounded himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he's Gustavo all the time.
He's crazy.
You sure?
Yeah. I think he's also like that kind of like that's his personality. He's also been famous since like he was 20 years old.
Maybe once you get super famous, you can be Chris D'Elia.
You can do anything you want. Yeah, basically, you can do anything you want. But I do agree. You kind of need to be professional in order to be.
You can't be.
You can't be like
you can't be exactly. So I just like him, his pose, and his voice change when he becomes Gustavo.
He's like, how far you've gotten that far? No.
Right now I'm at the pizza where he throws the pizza on the roof. I don't know which. I don't know.
I love that. That's my favorite.
I don't know seasons. I just
the pizza on the roof. You know that was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then they kept it in the show. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's my favorite thing about movie making and TV shows and like just filming shit in general. They're called what's it? Oh, jeez.
Easter egg?
Not Easter egg. It's
spoiler.
It's like they're called. It's like a mistake that happens that turns out to make the thing better. It's George Orwell.
Your birth.
Hey, exactly. Yeah.
Humbly. Okay,
but it's called something like a revelation or I don't know. But there was this director, George
Orwell.
Not George Orwell. Who's the guy that did Citizen Kane? Citizen Kane. You know the George. Oh my God, man! I can't even think.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Orson Welles. He tried to make a whole movie based on just a bunch of mistakes. That somehow he's like, we're gonna film until something happens. So the movie was never made because it's like, how do you make a bunch of mistakes to then happen and then be great?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. But he loved those moments because all his movies have those features because it was the 1930s and stuff, and there's all this that could happen. They're learning how to he like invented new techniques just to film these things, and then something would fall and they'd be like, keep it in, it's perfect. So that happened in Breaking Bad, and I'm like, that's because I saw it. I'm like, there's no way they did that on purpose.
No,
it's insane.
You want to land it on the
and it's like it turns into the funniest scene in the whole show. I think it's so because he's like, I got pizza, and they're like, why are you here? You're a psycho. I hate you. Love that scene.
And it's funny, like they go back to it and they film the pizza.
Yeah, on the roof.
And the cheese is going down.
Dude, how good is that?
And then him cleaning the pizza. You're like, I'm done.
So good. So they wrote those scenes in after. How awesome is that?
I noticed something also. I noticed it 10 years ago when I watched it when I was a young man. I don't know if you remember in the pilot, the first, like season 1, episode 1, there are.
What? No.
Yeah, there are
the rest of the show.
No for the rest of the show. And I think they used it to hook the producers. Because like, hey, you're Harvey. You're all want to be Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, you're all horny.
Let's put some.
That's a good idea. I mean,
when Jesse Pinkman, you know when.
Will they catch him in the bedroom or whatever?
No.
The ride along.
Ride along, exactly. Yeah. He looks and he sees, for some reason, Jesse Pinkman is at the neighbor's house. He comes out of the window and she just comes out. She's like, oh. I'm like,
weird. I didn't know you can have titties on AMC. It was the network at the time. But
Mammary, A4 American Mammary Company.
Yeah. Claire was gone yesterday, so I was able to watch anything I wanted on TV.
Wow.
Which is the best.
Wow, you watch anything you want?
Anything. I usually
I
usually don't really watch anything. We usually just watch. So a long time ago, I read a book called Gentleman in Moscow, and then I tried to make Claire read it, and then she hated it. But then I made her watch a TV show with Ewan McGregor.
Oh,
he's so dreamy.
Oh my God,
it's a great.
What's the name of the show?
A Gentleman in Moscow.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Paramount. I had to download it.
A Gentleman in Moscow.
Yeah, really. It's about the Russian Revolution and how a lot of these people got like unalived because they were dignitaries and rich. And then part of the show is the first episode. He lived in this hotel in the most glamorous room ever, and then they made him. They said, since you love this hotel so much, you have to live in the attic for the rest of your life. And so it starts when he's like 30, and then it goes forever. It's such a good show.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Is she watching it or is she watching Ewan McGregor?
He looks kind of old in it now.
But it's still sexy.
He is really cute. Anyway,
do you guys bing bong bada boom boom after watching the show?
No. It's usually quite late and I'm tired and I gotta wake up.
Okay, she doesn't like. Oh, Ewan. Ewan McGregor. Ooh.
He is great.
Ewan.
But anyway, I saw yesterday.
Having sex with Ewan.
I know.
Is it Ewan?
Especially when he was in his 20s.
No, but it's like Ewan.
Ewan.
Ooh, Ewan. Ewan
McGregor.
Yes, spank my ass, Ewan McGregor. Do you think a girl, when they have sex with Ewan McGregor, they say his full name? Ooh, Ewan McGregor. Ooh, Ewan. Oh,
it's not that weird of a name.
I should close the window. I just realized it now.
Seinfeld should not be looking at us.
I'm moaning to Ewan McGregor with the window kind of open right now. That's going, funny. Ooh, Ewan. Ewan McGregor. Oh. It's funny. The girl that she can't say my name properly. I'm like, you can say
it's the easiest name ever.
No, but like she's like, oh, how do you say it in Arabic? I'm like, Amer, and she's like, I'm like, you can say Guba, but you can't say Amer. Guba.
I saw Interstellar yesterday.
Oh, it's a good movie.
I loved it.
Yeah, you never seen it?
I saw it 10 years ago when it came out in theaters, and I was like, I must have been brain dead because I didn't understand it. I was like, what the hell? Because at the time, I was just used to sci-fi being Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And then I'm like, exactly. And this movie was like people crying and sad.
It's with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, and now I'm older and whiter. And I'm like, I was like, wow, this is the greatest, whitest movie ever.
Yeah. It's good. It starts with the fields, right?
It's so sad.
It's funny. In my mind, this is how I know I have a problem with my weight. Because in my mind, I truly believe if I lost weight, all my problems will be fixed. That's how I know, like, I have a weird relationship with food. Because I know that thought doesn't make sense. No. Well, you lose weight, everything becomes great. That's not true. So I know I'm like, I have to be careful with that, with those thoughts. Like, I've just lost weight. Everything will work.
Well, you might have more energy to do things that are more productive then maybe.
I am very productive. I do a lot of shows, right? We have podcasts, we do shows, we're growing, blah, 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 spending many...
plates.
In my mind, okay. Like I watch Matt Rife. He's not that funny always, but he's dreamy. He's not Ewan McGregor dreamy, but he's He's always having big forearms. I can't stop staring at his forearms. Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know what the direction of what the hell we should do. There's
you need to become Matt Rife.
Nah.
Shave your arms.
Shave my arms.
And start doing those exercises to have like a nice thick. Is this what I look like?
What?
Like with the arms on my arm? Like, is this what a man looks like?
Like hair?
It's disgusting.
It's just hair.
I know, but it's just that.
There's people that are hairier. There's
if
imagine Robin Williams.
If you like women,
Uh-huh.
this is horrible.
I know, but I don't look at you and I'm like, oh, because I don't look at every single person as if they're a potential sexual object and then get repulsed by them.
No, but this is repulsive, not necessarily sexually.
I know, but I don't
artistically.
I don't look.
Even David. David has no hair.
Who's David?
David. David, the statue.
Oh.
Understand? David was Greek. He probably was as hairy as you. But in an art form, I don't see people as sexual objects. I see them like as art. This is all shaved. Yeah, look at David.
Yeah.
David doesn't have like the chest hair and
no.
the cross and the arm. Hey, I'm Greek over here.
Yeah.
You know? That's probably how David, the statue of David, this is how he spoke. He's like, oh, hey, suck on these nuts, you. Hey, I'm David. Look at this. Look at my line. Oh,
No.
Hey, David.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's just hair. I don't look at anybody and think about anything.
I'm saying like, do I look like this? That's what I'm.
Like what? That hairy?
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think you're like slightly hairier.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I think you're slightly hairier.
To everyone who ever seen my, that's why I'd go back. That I believe that the full headdress and it should be on men.
No,
Women should be walking naked all the time.
I don't think so.
And men should be their body.
I think we should all just wear any clothes we want.
No, that's too. What, is it?
Society.
What are you, liberal?
Yeah,
over there?
slightly. I'm changing my ways.
It's disgusting.
I'm listening to books on Ebola, and I'm really learning.
Like, Africa's not that bad. I should go volunteer in
Africa. Dude. Oh man, I'm scared of Ebola. Just don't even.
Ebola. I don't think there's Ebola in Egypt.
No. It's more like in southern.
I think when I went there last time, I had to take a few extra shots.
What?
Well, I did Morocco.
Okay. Morocco looks cool.
Morocco looks cool, but I think Egypt is cooler.
Yeah?
In my opinion, I enjoyed Egypt.
Really?
More. Yeah.
I mean, I could just talk about Ebola all day.
Go ahead.
I could talk
Ebola.
Yeah, dude. Ebola is amazing. Ebola is like one of the most interesting diseases because you think of like a cold or a virus or even think of COVID, right? Or like any form of like super insanely like virulent disease. Like Ebola is like hands down the worst one you could ever get. It takes your intestines and it makes them decay as you're alive.
Whoa.
Like, and not just like they don't fail. They
just start rotting.
People are like walking around and their brain is still intact, but they're slowly dying. But it turns you into some sort of like you go into like a passive state where you don't even really feel pain anymore.
Whoa.
And you're just kind of confused and you're walking around. Especially the first guy who got the first case of what's it called of Zaire Ebola. He walked into a cave with like his some girl he was dating, and he worked in Africa, and then he got shat on by like a bunch of like bats and stuff, and he was just walking around and he didn't know what was going on. He's like, I'm just getting sicker. He's like, oh, I might have malaria, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the hospital, and he goes on an airplane and he starts puking and vomiting, and his eyes apparently are all like completely red, and his skin's turning yellow, and then by the time he gets to the hospital, he just pukes out his whole intestines and he out his whole whatever.
That must feel good. Oh my God, that's a good. You don't even have a good. You're like, oh, I feel so much skinny now. Oh man, you your intestine. You're like, oh my, I have a six pack. My pants fit.
So funny.
Oh, I'm so sexy. Kate Moss, watch out. I'm too sexy for my intestines.
Oh,
too
that's
sexy
amazing.
for my,
And then the doctor like cut him open to do like what's it called?
What? Everything was out. What is there left to cut?
Well, to see like what did he die of? How come he shot everywhere and shot black blood? And then they're like, he's like, this is the body of a man that's been dead for a week. They were saying, and so which is kind of insane. And then like apparently the guy puked on the doctor, and then the doctor got sick.
He got Ebola?
Yeah, he got Ebola. And then like there was this woman that was like the nurse, and she got it. Oh my God, it's so sad. She's like, I have it. Oh, and
there's no cure, right?
There's not even a vaccine.
Whoa.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, because like 3-5 people. When Africans only get it, no one cares.
Yeah. I know.
The world is racist.
Well, a lot of these, they're little villages, right? And they're all isolated. So they send in doctors these small little huts and stuff. And they don't know what to do. They're like, and part of the traditions and cultures is like you're not supposed to bury them. You're supposed to let them, like some cultures, you're supposed to just let them die and let them sit like in where they've died for days, and then you bury them.
And then you lick whatever comes out of it. tradition, guys. We gotta respect everyone's tradition.
So there was almost a giant outbreak in I think it was the 1980s in Washington D.C.
I remember.
So there was a big shipment of monkeys. They do testing on monkeys. no, monkeys like. Okay. What are you laughing?
This is. Sorry.
What? Were you laughing?
So the huge shipment of monkeys. They were going to Washington D.C.
to do testing.
Is that an Obama joke? Are you gonna end up saying an
No,
Obama?
no,
Because I know you, Gabe.
That's not. No, my brain didn't even go there. A huge shipment of monkeys. And so there was they thought it was this disease called Marburg disease that they discovered in one of the monkeys. And first they were like cutting them open and dissecting them and like putting and like they usually grow cultures inside these they're like these little flasks where they kind of like they build viruses, but they're like, this is weird, it's not behaving normally. And so this one scientist handed around the flask to everybody to be like, can you smell if it smells weird? And they're like, yeah, it smells weird. And then like days later he's like, oh my god, it's Marburg virus, which was a form of like a lesser form of Ebola that was discovered in Germany a long time ago. Only 20 to 30% of the people.
Do you shit your intestine too?
But no, it's like 20 or 30%. Yeah, a little bit hemorrhoid.
Oh man!
Then they found out it was
got Marlboro disease or whatever.
Marlboro disease. Turned into a camel.
Cool camel.
Cool camel.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cowboy.
That's hilarious. And so it turns out that like he looks further and it's like actually it's the 90% the Sudan, Zaire, Ebola.
Whoa.
And what was I going with this? And so they had to figure out a way to contain all these monkeys because it was right outside Washington D.C. Like, how do you get rid of it? Like, this never happened. So they basically like, okay, we need to these quickly and then somehow transport them away. Like, you can't just shut the place down and be like, okay, nobody go in that building anymore. Like, you have to bring them somewhere. But it's so virulent, like that you can't even the moment like it touches your skin, you got it. So how the hell do you move all these monkeys? How do you put them in a bag properly?
That's how I feel about your burps, by the way. Look, my sausage.
How do you
Imagine if sickness were transformed like you burp and then
I know you're just
else,
dead,
and then I get bad breath because you burp. Oh God, yeah. I remember when I was young, that was a big fear. That was our COVID when we were children.
Scary, huh?
Ooh, Ebola. Oh, everyone's gonna catch Ebola. That was like the avian flu. And then what else? We had the avian flu. We had the Ebola. What else? AIDS. Oh my God. To this day, my mom, like every time I tell like, I'm going on dates, I'm having sex, and she's like, AIDS, because she's from that time.
Whoa.
Remember, she's the height of AIDS.
She grew up in San Francisco in the 80s.
All
my friends are dead. My homosexual friends.
My homosexual friends are dead. Johnny.
Freddie Mercury. Yeah, so
Freddie.
Easy. Magic Johnson, he's fine, I guess.
My friend Magic Johnson, he will survive. He's big, black, and strong. Poor Easy. Oh, straight out of Compton, just lost a big one. Habibi, Easy.
Oh, Tupac died suddenly. He got shot. I feel bad for him.
I personally think it was, what is the name of the guy?
Oh, Notorious B.I.G.
I blame Notorious and his manager. I think they Suge Knight. I believe it was Sugar Knight. He's the one.
Sugar. Speaking of sugar, can you get me some sugar from the store, please?
I need some sugar for my coffee. Bitch, and the click here with. It was so good. Oh, he really burned him in that one.
That's good.
Oh God, so hot.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yes. So yeah. She grew up in that time.
That's scary.
I'm like, Mom, I'm a 40-year-old man. Like,
yeah.
I'll be fine. If I catch AIDS, I told Mom, did you know that they cured AIDS? She's like, what? As if she was like, now I can everyone. your dad.
That's great.
I'm going on Tinder. I always wanted to f a guy. I can finally fuck a black guy.
That's funny. She was like, you know how like there's Japanese people that live in the woods. They didn't realize World War II was done.
I was like, what? Like, yeah, no, mom, you just take a pill and it's like, they cured AIDS. I'm like, yeah, everything's fine now. There's no more AIDS.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm telling you, Q2, like 2 weeks, my mom leaves my dad,
Dude,
goes to Africa, just getting plowed by black men. It's like,
she doesn't gotta go that far to find black men.
She doesn't know there are black people here. She doesn't leave the house. She's like, I want this big black dick. I will go to Africa. I will get Zaire. Let's go. Put it up my ass, Zaire.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just calls him by the country. Oh, Côte d'Ivoire. Oh, Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, you're so big. Put your big ivory in my ass, Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Oh, Mauritania, you're so gentle. Oh my God!
It's her version of a little bit of Monica.
A little bit of Zaire in my ass. A little bit of Congo in my. Oh God!
That's wild.
I hope she doesn't watch this episode. She watches sometimes.
Oh well, but I think at a certain point she'd probably turn it off. She'd be like, "Whoa, this is hardcore."
And then she messaged me like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. So many times she messaged me and told me, "I can't believe you said this about the Middle East."
My mom is so supportive. She's like, "Ha ha ha!" That I don't even. I'm convinced she doesn't watch the podcast.
No,
she just writes, "Ha ha ha!"
And I bless her. And if you're guys, just comment. We need comments on our. No one's listen. This has been too long. No one's been like. If anyone's listening to this, it's on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. I wish there's.
By the way, if you listen on Spotify, subscribe. We know how many numbers. Yeah. We know how many subscribers we have, and know how many people listen to it. So subscribe. Give us 5 stars, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
And also, I've been leaving little Q&As, like, so say like, what did you think of this, or something related to the episode. It might say like, are you afraid of Ebola? Yes, no, maybe, or whatever.
Which black guy from which African country would you have sex with? Yeah, just something like this.
Exactly.
Let them feel involved.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, I need a cigarette. I need a shisha. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Oh man.
I took a girl on a date to a shisha place. It's always funny to see white girls wrestle with shishas. It's like, I don't know what to do with this. What does it sound like my mom? I don't know what to do with this.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, suck on it. Suck on it. She's like,
do they get like head rushes and stuff?
A little, yeah.
Sorry, just burp, but a little one.
I'll get a head rush now too.
Oh, I'm sorry. It can't, you know,
I hope you get Ebola again.
It was a sudden rush of but
this should be the the screenshot you take is this.
I'll be like this, and then I'll have like burp bubbles.
Okay, clean. So this happened to me. As you know, I like to take late night walks. So I was walking, and I saw a cab driver with a piece of metal unlocking a car. And then I remember, oh no, this is what, like, if you ever leave your car keys in your car, call a cab company. They'll send a criminal, and he'll unlock your car. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
but
they're good with this.
Was it an old car?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's one of those cars where you could just check.
Because now there's just apps, like kind of like your air conditioner, but for your phone.
But how many people have these cars with apps? There's like, how many people do you know have cars with apps?
I think like any car after 2018 have that. My brother had a car like 5 years ago that did that.
With the phone?
Yeah.
But what if you forget your phone? Anyways,
in the car, I guess?
And the guy was unlike, I'm like, it's true. Cab drivers, if your battery is dead, just call the cab driver. He'll boost you. If you forget your keys,
cab driver.
I'm like, Uber drivers. What? You can't call an Uber driver to do anything except drive you.
I know.
Oh, come unlock my phone?
No.
What the hell can an Uber do?
No, nothing.
We need... This is when I realized, you're getting old when you look at something like, when I was young, it was better. I think cab drivers were cooler.
Way better. Yeah.
Way better. You paid cash. No one knew where you went. Didn't care about your rating.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody used to be a cab driver back in the day. Like every uncle I knew.
Yeah, my dad.
Your dad
was a cab driver.
Did he have like leather seats in the car, sort of?
Because he had like a driver for the car for the work, and he had his own personal car.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know my grandfather was a cab driver in Greece.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he had
cool.
and he had back then. It's like you know how you get that medallion thing
Yeah.
or whatever? I didn't understand how that worked. You only get a few, and then you build up your medallion, and then it's basically like an investment in your license,
Yeah.
and then you can sell it off for like. Apparently, the way he retired, he sold it for like 200,000 euro
In
Greece.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
And then Uber came and then destroyed.
I think they died.
everything.
They died.
Destroyed everything.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I saw them like, oh yeah, I'm getting old. And then I saw something else. I'm like, oh, that pisses me off. So as you know my neighborhood. This is getting really gentrified.
Mm-hmm.
Rent is through the roof
Yeah.
here. So I'm walking, and it's like 1:30 in the morning. No one in the street, and I see two guys sitting at the porch of their house, and they're wearing like white. They look like white trash, and they're smoking cigarettes. Like, yeah.
Oh.
Then I'm walking, and as I get older, as I get closer to them, I'm noticing like they're in their maybe early 30s.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, you guys are not white. They're wearing white beaters.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're wearing it ironically, because I know your rent. Your rent is like $4,000
so they're
a month.
just
So we're just like, oh, let's role play being white trash,
I
and they're
hate
like,
that.
anyways, je lui ai dit, tu sais, I'm like, dude, you're a programmer. Like, there's no way
Whoa.
you have an Audi. You're not white trash. You're fake white trash.
that's BS.
You're ironically wearing a wife beater.
It's sad.
Oh, that's worse than wearing a white beater. Wearing it ironically.
I know.
Go yourself, Cuba.
A white beater is cool. I want to wear a white beater in the summertime just to like walk around.
Really, like the transparent one that you're
Yeah.
supposed to wear under the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just with I want to hold the belt like on my because it's hot, so I'm just holding a belt because I took off my. I want to look like a guy that I want to role play like these guys. I want to
People are role playing being poor in my neighborhood.
But do you remember like back in the day? It felt like everybody was wearing a wife beater with jeans and boots, and they all held the belt.
I never saw that.
Never, because they don't want to have the. They're like, that's too
Who
hot.
wears a belt? Why? Why is the belt?
Because
making
they were
you hot?
walking around, they're like, it's too hot for a belt, and they take
What
off
do
the
you mean
belt.
it's too hot for a belt? What the hell does that mean? What does it mean when something's too hot for a belt?
Let's say you're walking.
I'm walking.
When and you're inside the house.
I'm inside the house.
Normal temperature, right?
Normal temperature.
Your body size is smaller. You go outside, it's hotter. You expand.
Yes.
Your belt gets tight. You're like So you take off the belt. And then you walk around with the belt, and you're just sweating, and you're hot, and you go to the Depanero, grab a Coca-Cola. There's air conditioning. Okay, you put on the belt.
You're angering me right now. I hate ironic things like this. Like, ironically be poor.
You never seen that before?
I'm gonna take off my belt and hit you.
You never seen a guy not wear a belt?
No. Just no, but like not wear, but hold it.
Well, it's okay. Imagine you have an errand to
Getting
do,
old. Yeah,
and you leave your house, and you're like, it's
why would I leave my house in a white beater? First of
because
all,
you had your shirt.
yes.
You took off your shirt as you're walking.
Yeah.
Take off your belt. You leave the shirt behind on the ground. You're like, I can't. It's too hot to hold my shirt either. And then you're walking, and then eventually everyone's like, "Where's your shirt?" You know it's hot. They're like, "I get it."
But I have my belt.
Anyway, I think I made all that up, but but it's belt. But I have seen people now wear a belt, holding their belts, wondering why. Maybe they're gonna. I don't know.
Maybe they're looking for their son to beat them up.
Yeah, maybe it was.
That's what I think.
But anyway, if you see me next time, it's a hot day and we carry my belt.
I'm telling you, you're getting not sluttier. You're getting up. You're becoming a whore. And the more weight you lose, the sexier luck. You're becoming a whore. So I see you wearing a wife beater just to showcase your guns, but it's like with like a little pasta sauce.
Yeah, a little nastiness.
I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna start hitting you. I'm just letting you know. And your mom's like, please, hit Gabriel.
So funny.
He deserves to be hit. He's too hot.
I put the belt over.
And your grandma's like, oh, look at my look at my big juicy oh, Amer, you want to suck on my grandma? I'll be like, mamma mia, grandma mia.
Oh, so funny.
Is it
Grandma mia. Grandma mia.
Friday Club at Water, guys. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
The fanciest show there is in this city with the two most disturbing comedians in the city.
The comedians in this show aren't that disturbing.
No, we are disturbing.
I'm
saying like Gabriel and I
think the lineup is quite appropriate for that environment.
Yes, we have Lawrence Korber headlining.
Squeaky clean.
Danny Zawahiri. Danny is a bit naughty.
He's naughty, but he also talks about his kids.
Yes,
you know,
he's like my family. I'm the only one going, my penis in the Jews. My penis in the Jews.
And I'm a hoe all of a sudden.
And you're like, ooh. If you guys want to come titty fuck Gabe, come this Friday at Club at Water. It's going to be bananas. So nice, so fun. I love that room.
Yeah, it's
fun. Really good shows. Also, next week on Thursday, we'll be in Cornwall. I'll be headlining. Gabriel and Joel will be coming with me. I think it's called Cornwall LOL. So come see us on the road, Cornwall.
Cornhole me.
Cornwall. What a name, Cornwall.
Yeah.
Like somebody was like, what is it, Vasco da Gama or whoever was walking down, or Marco Polo. Whatever. Christoph Columbus. It's like, oh, look at this wall of corn.
Yeah.
We should call this city Cornwall.
I wonder why. It's a city. It's the origins from the UK.
You know, like the wall of ice in.
The Flat Earth.
No. In that show.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, but with corn.
Corn. How come you? I don't know. Whatever. I was gonna say something gross about how come when you eat corn you see it in your shit.
Because it doesn't digest the outer thing of the corn.
Hate that.
Your body cannot digest it.
I hate that. Just digest it.
Why, you're picking it up and eating it again? What does it?
Because you forget you ate corn. And you're like, and then it just makes you hungry again.
No, but it's important to do that. I always when I eat corn, because I like statistics. I'm like, ooh, will I poop the corn? Well, if let's say I eat corn, let's say at noon, will it come out the next day?
Interesting.
You know what I mean? It's like a time bomb. Okay, corn.
Yeah. I'm learning more about my body. Like I had tandoori chicken, makes me every single time. And I thought it was a coincidence. I had it again, shat, and then I ate it again. I was like shat. And I was like maybe one more time, and then and then I was like, ooh.
Like how? Like let's say
like 30 minutes.
You clean the plate. You eat. You're like
30 minutes.
Go.
30 minutes.
But do you poop the chicken or you
no,
poop
not
whatever
chicken. I poop
before?
whatever was yesterday's chicken or whatever.
Okay, so the food yesterday comes out. Oh, now you know if you're ever constipated.
I know, that's what Claire was saying.
Tandoori chicken.
Yeah, it's
maybe it's the spices. Your body's
maybe.
Like, we need to evacuate everything so we can take care of it.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
Oh.
I need to start to learn how to cook. I feel bad. Because I'm telling people like I go on dates and like girls like, oh, I don't have an oven. And they're like, what?
Oh, you have an resort? Yeah.
I told you how I ruined my oven.
Yeah. You.
So I had a plastic thing. You know, like there's the thing where you put to dry your plates and spoons and whatever. And I wasn't using it, so I put it in the oven. And then 6 months passed by. I'm like, I think I wanted to reheat something in the oven. I'm like, I'm gonna use my oven. So I put the oven on heat, and then 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, that room, the kitchen is smoky. It smells like. And I look, and it just. It looks like a Picasso painting, just burnt plastic, just dripping, and now it doesn't work.
You should just get a little grill, like something from Walmart.
That's my rap name. Little grill.
Little grill.
Nah.
That's all I do. I grill all my food on the balcony now. I have the smallest little balcony.
I have a barbecue, but I never use it. It's a wasp's nest now. I never use it.
That's scary.
So I used to go out and I'm like, what? And then I open it. I saw a huge wasp nest. So you know what I did? I put tape all over my barbecue. And I'm like, I'm never opening it again.
Oh my god!
So I put all the wasps. They stay inside, and I hope they did.
Oh, that's crazy. Turn it on and again. You turn that one.
Dude, I haven't turned it on in years. I should throw it away.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's so funny.
So you grill outside? You're an outside griller now?
Yeah. Every summer, anytime I cook, the moment it gets hot, I cook just nonstop chicken.
I think I'm gonna cook like 12 chicken breasts and then cut them up, put in the freezer, and then in case I want to eat just
it's true.
One.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's nice.
Yeah. I like chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are nice.
I don't like chicken thighs. They're overrated.
Why?
You never know when they're cooked.
They're underrated, if for anything.
Overrated.
They're like insanely cheap.
They're too juicy.
They're too
chicken
juicy.
breasts are perfect.
They're perfect, but they're overpriced, I find.
Your mom's overpriced.
So I'm not going to buy So chicken thighs, they're really juicy. They're delicious. And they're like... They're like $2.
I never know when they're ready.
It takes a long time to cook them because there's bone in.
Oh, you keep it with the bone. That's why they taste better, because you keep it with the bone.
Yeah.
Is there bones in breasts?
There is bone. No. There is bone in chicken breast you can buy, and it is cheaper. But
bone? Where's is it?
I was at Maxi today.
Let's say I'm a chicken.
It's like a chest, right?
I'm a chicken. I have my breasts.
Yeah.
They're here. So you're the thorax. Like
they just literally just cut it out with a knife. They're not like, but then they take out the bone usually. Oh. It's just like they're cutting open someone's chest and they're grabbing the meat. You know?
So you have like the vertebrae.
It's a little bit of the chest bone or whatever. It's like a chest
vertebrae. No.
Vertebrae is the back.
Oh, sorry. What do you call this?
I'm gonna burp. Sorry. We should end this.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Come see our shows. Anything else you want to promote? Buy a mug. Buy a pen. And come to our shows. And I love you, Eugene.
Bye. Mwah.